All right, we're a second behind schedule, but we'll catch up. Happy Tuesday, 17th day of February, 2026. I'm Dan Kuntz in the air chair here on this rather chilly morning. It's 30 degrees here in the big city. We'll continue to see the cool down. Had that little bit of snow. You can see behind me the foothills around the valley still has snow on the ground, on the valley floor. It's pretty much gone. And we're going to be unsettled. It's going to be pretty quiet for the next couple of days. Things will get more interesting from Mother Nature's perspective as we get to the weekend. Long-term forecast is calling for more unsettled weather. It took winter a long time to get here, but, and I may be wrong, I don't know. I was gone for a couple of weeks, but I think that was yesterday was about the first time we actually had snow come down and kind of stick around for a little bit. I looked at the Rivercom dispatch log that we all get as members of the media every morning, and no real accidents, nothing really bad happened. Everybody behaved themselves, and if you waited until later on in the day, you didn't have any problems at all getting around. Forecast details are on the way. We have news. Sports is almost all high school basketball playoff related, both scores and schedules in that respect. It's Tuesday. We haven't done it for a couple of weeks because I've been gone. We've had other things scheduled, but Austin Draude will be back, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild. Little hockey talk. We got a lot to talk about because we haven't seen Austin on this program for 3 weeks, but he'll be in here live in this studio this morning, and an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Bignotti, who always has an opinion. Sunrise is right now, 7:02. If you're watching the live version of this program, it is now officially sunrise. Let's do our cameras around the valley, and there is the Wenatchee Valley. Again, you can see the snow line. It's pretty obvious. There's large grassy areas that maybe have like a quarter of an inch of snow hanging around there. Very strange weather phenomenon as you look at that beautiful picture from Wenatchee Heights. Our high yesterday, and this happens, and it's been a very strange winter. Monday's high temperature was 38 degrees, and that happened at about quarter after midnight was our high temperature. Was at about 12:15 yesterday morning. Our low temperature, which is normally an overnight low, our low temperature was 30 degrees. We bottomed out at 7:10 in the evening. So our high temperature was at 12:15 in the morning, and our low temperature was at 7:10 in the evening. Pretty much bass backwards of what it's normally supposed to be. Good morning to Valley High on your way up to Blewett Pass. Looks like they finally got some much needed, though. The snowpack is way below where it should be for this time of the year. It's just been a dry year. Billy Goat checks in from high atop Billy Goat Mountain. Nice view there. Sun's coming up on the upper part of our viewing area. 7:02 was sunrise, which has just happened. Sunset tonight, 5:28. That's 10 hours and 26 minutes of daylight. Today will be 3 minutes and 14 seconds longer than yesterday from the Waterville camera, pointed down towards Entiat. A beautiful view there. And again, you can see the snow line right there. You can see where on the far left side of the screen is where the Entiat River flows into the Columbia River. That's a beautiful view there. Entiat, by the way, has a very important basketball game tonight. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Everybody's dealing with clouds right now, but that's going to change later on today. It's Tuesday. We always check in with the Climate Prediction Center. This is your 6 to 10 day temperature and precipitation outlook. This takes us from Sunday at the end of this week through Thursday of next week, and it looks like we're going to be in a continuing period of cooler than normal temperatures and more precipitation than normal. So it's taken winter a long time to get here. Meteorological winter begins on December 1st. The winter by the solstices and the equinoxes began on December 21st, and we really haven't had much of a winter. Looks like winter is going to make a late comeback. We are now, of course, more than halfway through the month of February. Keep in mind our normal high temperatures this time of the year is 42. Ain't gonna see that. And I'll prove it to you right now from our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. No 42s in the forecast there, folks. We're going to see some sunshine today. I know the clouds are out there, but they're not particularly low-hanging, foggy clouds. They should be burning off a little bit. There's a little mixture in the upper part of the atmosphere. So for the most part, we'll see some sunshine today. So they tell us. And a high of 38. Clouds are back tonight, 26 for the overnight low. Partly sunny Wednesday. There's a 30% chance of rain or snow. That would be late in the day Wednesday with a high of 38. And then Wednesday night, well, about a 30% chance of snow. No real measurement expected there, 25 for the overnight low. Thursday, a 40% chance of snow in the morning hours. So we could wake up Thursday morning to some snow on the ground. How long will it last and how much? They say we're not going to get much snow, but we could see a pretty good chance of snow anyway, early Wednesday morning or early Thursday morning, overnight Wednesday. So Thursday morning's commute could be a little dicey, and then we'll have sunshine on Friday and a high of 35, and then next chance of snow Saturday night on into Sunday. Best chance of actual precipitation-wise is Sunday, 60% chance of snow, but it will probably be a rain-snow mix on Sunday because we're going to top off at 39 degrees. All right. At your weather forecast, after a 2-minute break, the news. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
High clouds, 31 degrees, sunshine expected later on today. We're only going to get maybe upper 30s. We'll be below normal, not well below normal, but certainly cooler than what we've been seeing right through the weekend, both for the afternoon highs and the overnight lows, and some early morning snow possible on Thursday morning. It's almost 9 minutes after the hour. A Wenatchee mother and her 9-year-old son were detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement last week, and by yesterday afternoon, they had been removed from this country. Elsie Amaya Diaz and Cesar Amaya Diaz are both Salvadorian nationals. Family and supporters say Elsie and Cesar arrived at a scheduled immigration check-in last Thursday at the Department of Homeland Security office, where they were taken into custody. Family members said they had been unable to locate the two until Monday afternoon. That's when they received a call from Elsie from outside the country. The family says both are believed to be in good health. Cesar is known to have been a student at John Newberry Elementary in Wenatchee, although the Wenatchee School District declined to confirm that. Demonstrators, including people associated with the advocacy group Wenatchee for Immigrant Justice, protested their removal outside the Homeland Security office, which is located on the lower floor of Wenatchee City Hall. A Manson resident with a history of bank robberies pled guilty last week to robbing yet another financial institution. 43-year-old Cameron Len Gaunt apparently held up the Cashmere Valley Bank branch on Maple Street back in September, made off with an estimated $2,400 from a teller. Another teller at People's Bank in East Wenatchee recognized Kuntz the next day in their bank lobby, and local police took him into custody. Gaunt was due to go on trial next month in U.S. District Court in Spokane. Instead, on Friday, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of bank robbery plus probation violations related to his previous federal convictions. Gaunt had already served about 15 years in prison for bank holdups committed in 2010 and again in 2018, and was just released last July. He's currently being held in the Spokane County Jail, faces a possible prison term of up to 20 years when he's sentenced come May. Commissioners for the Grant County PUD could decide the fate of the Crescent Bar Golf Course as soon as today. The utility district loses an estimated $290,000 every year on the golf course, which is located on that resort island in a bend of the Columbia River. PUD staff are reviewing proposals on preserving the course, redeveloping the course, or just getting rid of the course altogether. Any of those three options would cost the district anywhere from $3 million to preserve the golf course as it is to $28 million to add new amenities. The course's future remains unclear beyond the expiration of Grant's PUD's license to operate both the Priest Rapids and Wanapum dams. Those leases don't come due until 26 more years. A handful of bills proposed by North Central Washington lawmakers are continuing towards a final vote in the Washington State Legislature. Among the bills that survived a February 4th cutoff, 12th District State Representative Brian Burnett's proposal to strengthen post-release supervision of defendants convicted of stalking. His measure aimed at preventing repeat offenses advanced out of the House with a unanimous vote. It'll get a hearing in the Senate come tomorrow. 7th District State Senator Shelley Short pushed a bill to exempt some small rural school districts from renewable energy requirements. And State Representative Hunter Abel is proposing changing the way Port District employees pay into retirement systems. Those bills are up for floor votes or hearings later on this month. A Chelan County Public Works driver is being recognized for his role in helping an injured bald eagle get help. Back on January 20th, Dylan Harn pulled over to remove a deer carcass from a roadway in the Aniad area when the injured eagle emerged from some nearby bushes. He and a neighbor who was also watching the eagle called Department of Fish and Wildlife, but the agency was unable to immediately give him a hand. Well, on February 1st, the neighbor called a private wildlife rescue company, and Harn assisted in the eagle's capture. The bird was transported to a rehabilitation facility in Pullman, where wildlife experts determined it may have been injured by fighting with vultures that were feeding on the carcass of the deer. Young would-be surgeons suited up Saturday and started exploring in the Matters of the Heart event. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center has been putting this on for quite some time. Medical professionals from Confluence Health led an inspection and dissection laboratory to learn about the anatomy and the function of the heart. They used donated pig organs to do it. The clinic has been going on for 9 years. It's usually scheduled around Valentine's Day, that's the heart theme. Organizers say the interactive nature of the clinic helps students from around the valley gain a different perspective on health and the human body. And finally, a new Story Walk book focused on the winter season has been installed at the Jacobson Preserve. A Story Walk book is presented page by page along a trail, a bike path, or in store windows to promote reading and exercise. Hiking families can now enjoy Counting Winter. It's by Nancy White Karlstrom, in which a number of different animals can be seen enjoying the snow. A different book called Days and Days by Ginger Fogelsong Guy, that was installed at the same trailhead back in September. That explores the 4 seasons in both English and Spanish. The Jacobson Story Walk was created as a partnership between NCW Libraries and the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. Reading and get exercise. I approve. Like that means anything. That's the news. 1:15. If you want to stay in the loop of what's going on around here, the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington, we have a program just for you. Well, it's for everybody. Anybody can watch it. We don't check ID. The news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on traditional television airing times. 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work around your schedule, it'll be posted on our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock. You can also watch our programming 24/7 by just going to our website, ncwlife.com, and click on the live stream. There we are. We're on Roku. We're on Apple TV. We're on Hulu. We're not on Hulu, who, by the way, I just found out yesterday are going to raise their rates. I may just have to ditch them. And for news tips, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
17 minutes after the hour, sports. High school basketball is the topic today. For the Columbia Basin Big Nine, their district tournament actually gets underway in a couple of days from now. But some teams have to play to get into the district, and that is tonight. Eastmont will be hosting Sunnyside in a play-in game. The winner moves on to the District 5 4A girls tournament. The loser, their season comes to an end at the Wenatchee Panthers, who finished 6th, which means they have a chance to advance to the district tournament, but they have to travel down to Yakima to take on West Valley at 6 o'clock again. If you win, you move on to the district tournament. If you lose, your season is done. The girls' District 5 1A tournament is already underway. Now they're in the loser-out stage. Natchez Valley will travel up to Cashmere, 5:30 tip-off there. The winner moves on, and the loser is done. Cascade travels to Wapato at 6 o'clock. Same deal. You win, you move on to the district tournament. If you lose, your season is done. In the 1B tournament, same scenario. Soap Lake will be at Moses Lake Christian at 6 o'clock. The winner will continue on. The loser's season comes to an end. Wilson Creek will host Antioch at 6 o'clock in the girls' District 5 1B tournament. Same scenario. Winner moves on. Loser is done. That was the girls. Now it's the boys. Same deal in the Big Nine. The district tournament is the final 4 teams, but there's still 6 teams there. So these are play-in games. Sunnyside will host Wenatchee at 6 o'clock tonight. In a loser-out game, Eisenhower will take on Davis at 6 o'clock tonight. The winners will move on to the 14 bracket. The losers, their season comes to an end. And in the boys' District 5 1A tournament, tell me if this looks somewhat familiar. Kind of. Chelan and Cashmere are kind of on a collision course. It would be kind of cool to see these 2 teams play again. Connell will be at Chelan tonight, 6 o'clock. That's a loser-out game. Cashmere will be hosting Wapato at 7 o'clock tonight in a loser-out game in the District 5 1A boys tournament. And there was basketball last night in the District 5 1B tournament. All of these teams are still alive, mind you, but some have moved to other parts of the bracket. Moses Lake Christian knocked off Waterville Mansfield in a big way, 61-25. Orville over Antioch, 55-53. But again, all four of those teams are still alive for a shot at state. And that's a brief look at sports, because that's all I got for you. For your obscure holiday, first of all, we want to wish the people in Kosovo a happy Independence Day. It's Libyan Revolution Day. It was on this date in 2011 when Libya decided they had enough of Muammar Gaddafi. They got rid of him. It's World Human Spirit Day. It is the Lunar New Year. Happy New Year, Lunar New Year. It's 47 days before Easter. That means, of course, it's Fat Tuesday or Carnival or Mardi Gras, if you will. I was actually in New Orleans for Mardi Gras 36 years ago. I'm still recovering from that. It's Random Acts of Kindness Day. We're not doing any of those. Today we're doing a longtime staple of a lot of diets, especially in Eastern Europe. Today is National Cabbage Day. Today, most people associate cabbage with two things, either coleslaw or corned beef and cabbage. The funny thing is, the two dishes that I love where the source ingredient is cabbage. One is kimchi, which I love, and the other is coleslaw, and yet I don't much care for cabbage itself. We've been cultivating cabbage for about 4,000 years. It went from Asia to Europe around the year 600 AD. Cabbage was handy. It's easy to grow. It grows very quickly, and it lasts a long time once you harvest it, so it became a staple way back in the day because you could grow cabbage and then store it and eat it later. Cabbage belongs to the same family as, and maybe this is why a lot of people don't like cabbage. Cabbage is in the same family as kale, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and broccoli. Uncooked cabbage is very good for you. Russians love cabbage. It's the national food. The average Russian will eat 7 times more cabbage than the average American. They love their cabbage. And it grows very quickly. Cabbage, a head of cabbage goes from seed to ready to harvest in about 3 months. So if you're into cabbage, enjoy. I'll stick with kimchi and coleslaw. Thank you very much. Today in history, this was one presidential election that was about as messed up as any of them could be. So much so, they changed the rules. Now, that's Thomas Jefferson and John Adams. I don't have a photo of Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr, but this was the 1800 election, which they finally settled on this date in 1801, because they had an electoral tie. This is before the 12th Amendment to the Constitution went into effect, and each member of the Electoral College got 2 votes. But there was no distinction between presidential vote or vice presidential vote. And after the 1800 election between Aaron Burr and Thomas Jefferson, they each got 73 electoral votes. It was a tie, so it went to the House of Representatives. Alexander Hamilton was not a member of the House of Representatives. He didn't much care for Thomas Jefferson, but he really didn't like Aaron Burr. So much so that Aaron Burr ended up shooting him, but that's another story altogether. So Alexander Hamilton kind of pulled the strings. He did it very well, and they convinced a bunch of people in the Electoral College to change their vote from Aaron Burr to Thomas Jefferson. He figured the lesser of two evils, and Thomas Jefferson eventually was elected president because Alexander Hamilton stepped in. This can't happen anymore thanks to the 12th Amendment. Can you imagine that? By the way, it was a very bitter campaign, too. Anyway, that's John Adams and Jefferson. Couldn't find one with Jefferson and Aaron Burr. Article 1 of the United States Constitution requires that the United States House of Representatives, the districts in the House, to be apportioned by population. So a bigger state, more members of the House, more people in the state, more members in the House of Representatives. But nowhere in the Constitution does it require states that the districts themselves be equal in population. Well, the United States Supreme Court stepped in and said, no, that's not correct. And on this date, 62 years ago today, in the landmark ruling in Westbury v. Sanders, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that congressional districts have to be approximately equal in population. The theory of one person, 1 vote. And before this ruling, some of the populations of the congressional districts for the United States House of Representatives were crazily out of business. Some had like 50,000 people in the district, and the other had like 3 million people in the district. And of all the opinions that Earl Warren played a role in, even Brown v. Board of Education and all the great Earl Warren opinions from the Warren Court, he said this was the most important one of all. No more of this nonsense. That was put to an end on the state in 1964. His name was Robert Preston. He joined the Army to become a helicopter. He wanted to learn how to fly helicopters, couldn't afford to go to helicopter school, so he figured, I'm going to join the Army and learn how to fly a helicopter. That's why he enlisted. So he went to helicopter pilot school, and he flunked out. He didn't pass, and he didn't get his helicopter's pilot's license, but he gave the Army a 4-year commitment, so to speak. So the Army made him a helicopter mechanic. And Robert Preston was pretty mad about this. He goes, I'm a good helicopter pilot. I really am, and I'm going to prove it to you. And on this date in 1974, Robert Preston stole a helicopter at Fort Meade, and to show off his skill as a pilot, decided to fly over the top of the White House. They shot at the helicopter. They shot 300 rounds at the helicopter. Preston got hit 5 times. He wasn't hurt. These are Army helicopters. They're designed to get shot at. He landed on the White House lawn, tried to take off. The Secret Service tackled him. Robert Preston was sentenced to prison. After he was released, he moved to our state. In 1982, he got married and ended up living in Ephrata, where he passed away from cancer about 15 years ago. I told the Army I'm a good helicopter pilot. I'll show you. I'll steal a helicopter and land it on the White House lawn. Birthdays, we talked about before I went on vacation. Assignment. We talked about Wally Pipped, being Wally Pipped, and I didn't have time to explain it. Wally Pipp was born in the state in 1893. He was a first baseman, and a very good first baseman for the New York Yankees. And of course, the legendary story was back in 1923, Wally Pipp complained of a headache before a game at the clubhouse at Yankee Stadium, and the manager, Miller Huggins, overheard Wally Pipp ask a teammate for an aspirin. I got a headache. Miller Huggins said, Wally, take the day off. We got this 20-year-old rookie, this Gehrig kid. We'll put him in at first base today. You can take the day off. And of course, Wally Pipp never started another game for the Yankees for the rest of his career. So to be Wally Pipped means you take the day off, or you go on vacation for a week, and the person who replaces you while you're gone is better at your job than you were. Now, keep in mind, Wally Pipp could have held a grudge, but he didn't. Wally Pipp was a very good first baseman, and he took the time to teach Lou Gehrig the finer points of playing defensive first baseman. Lou Gehrig needed no help with the bat, but he was weak with the glove, and so Wally Pipp took him under his wing and taught him how to play first base. Good for Wally Pipp, who was born in the state in 1893. The terribly underappreciated Gene Pitney was born 85 years ago today. We have the music. The guy did everything. He sang duets with George Jones. He sang in Italian. He had a bunch of hits. He wrote songs. He produced songs. He worked with the Rolling Stones. The very first Mick Jagger, Keith Richards hit song was sung by Gene Pitney. Terribly underappreciated, a very strange case, and a great talent, Gene Pitney, born in the state in 1941. We lost Gene about 20 years ago. Jim Brown voted the greatest college football player of all time about 5 or 6 years ago. Of course, a running back for Syracuse University, also considered one of the greatest lacrosse players of all time. In his professional career, all with the Cleveland Browns, 2,359 rushes, 12,312 yards, 106 touchdowns, all records when he retired, and he still holds this record. He averaged 105 rushing yards per game. He's the only player in the history of the National Football League to average over 100 yards per game in his career. And finally, this guy's done well for himself too. Michael Jordan, whose NASCAR team won the Daytona 500 on Sunday. He is 63 years old today. He became the first billionaire in NBA history 12 years ago. His net worth is $3.8 billion, which makes him the 4th richest African American ever. Happy 63rd to Michael Jordan. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They got a brand new logo, but they're Their quality service remains unchanged. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. But who's kidding you? Our heaters really haven't had a lot to do this winter. You saw the forecast. That's probably going to change. Going to take a break. We've got a classic opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. And then Austin Draude, live right here in the studio for the first time in a long time for Wenatchee Wild Hockey Talk. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, when I was a kid, I used to read stories about people who had regrets. Now, these folks would reach middle age or later, and suddenly they'd say to themselves, is this all there is? Or something like, why didn't I do so-and-so or such and such? Basically, they'd be saying that they wasted their life, their one life. Now, this made me think. I never wanted to forget that this life, my life, is a one-way trip, and I didn't want to waste mine having regrets that I didn't measure up to much. So, how have I done? You tell me. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Every Tuesday, except last week and, well, the week before that, and perhaps the week before that. It's been a while. Austin Draude drops by to do a little Wenatchee Wild hockey talk. We're live right here in the studio, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Good to see you again, my friend. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I brought you a gift back from Arizona. It's not really I stole it, is what I did. In my brother's condominium in Phoenix, he has a drawer full of cozies, so you can go out by the pool and enjoy an adult beverage. But Arizona Coyotes.
That's a throwback.
I thought maybe it's a collector's item. The Coyotes moved, by the way, to Utah, to Salt Lake. They're now the Utah Mammoth. So the Coyotes don't exist anymore, at least in Arizona. So I thought maybe this cozy, you might like that. So
thank you.
I stole it from my brother's kitchen. So anyway, I think you might like that. I don't know why. I saw that. And I thought, I think Austin would like that.
It's a collector's item.
It is a collector. I can autograph it for you as well. So let's recap the weekend that was. We almost had a clean sweep. There's the results from over the weekend at the Town Toyota Center. We beat Kelowna 5-3. Highlights of that shortly. Went to Spokane. Hard place to play. 10,000 fans screaming for the Chiefs. We knocked them off 3-2, but then Spokane came to town on Sunday. It was 2-2 after 2 periods. Austin, then Spokane scored the 2 goals in the 3rd period to salt away to victory. But 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, 2 out of 3, a pretty good weekend. Wenatchee actually took the lead to the 3rd period. Didn't hold it for very long. They grabbed the goal on the opening rush, so really flipped the momentum pretty quickly. But 2-1 lead going to the locker room. You like your chances, and 4 out of 6 points. It's not what we came for, but certainly nothing we're going to complain about.
And Spokane's no slouch. I think they're second in the U.S. division, aren't they?
They're right up there in the U.S. division. They're battling for the last playoff spot in the Western Conference right now. There are 4 teams, I think, still within 3 points of each other, and only 3 of them are going to the playoffs. So it's as tight as it gets right now, and we're still battling to get up among that group before the clock runs out.
We'll talk about the playoff scenario in just a little bit, but we always do footage of a victory, and by golly, Friday night at the Town Toyota Center seemed to be the way to go about it. Our 5-3 victory over Kelowna, including a really cool empty netter. Austin, it's all yours, buddy.
Now we start early. About halfway through the 1st period, Ray Hahn 5-on-5. You're not going to hear a lot of 5-on-5 from the Wild in this game, but Ray Hahn with a chance at the front of the net, jams it home. There's your look up top in a 1-0 game. How about a look that's not up top? But the Wild are up top, 1-0. Sam Elliott, just in case. Ray didn't really need the help, though. Wild down a man. Actually, down a man, and not anymore. A chance from the left wing. It bounces back out. It's going to take a bounce off a Wild skate. Tobias Tversnik has it until the moment he doesn't. And this game is tied at 1. But just moments later, the Wild on a power play. And how about this rip from the left wing? Mason Kraft rattling it home just inside the near point. We're going to talk a little bit more about shots that get just inside the near post coming up in a sec. How about another goal off another face-off? This one right down the slot. Josh Toll evades the traffic and puts the Wild in front 3-1. You remember the USA game the other day against Denmark? They scored a couple goals off the face-off.
Yep.
That face-off, massive, and it sends the Wild to the second period with a 3-1 lead. We were talking about power play goals, weren't we? How about Luka Sherbina with one of his own? His 20th of the season from the right dot. Pump it up, Luka. This is a 4-1 hockey game. Wenatchee scoring 3 power play goals. On those 3 power plays, they spent a total of 45 seconds. And this one looks to be pretty solidly in hand, right? No, not with Kelowna on the ice.
Can't go to sleep with Kelowna.
Can't go to sleep with Kelowna. Shot down the slot to make it a 4-2 game. Dawson Gerwing with the tip on the throw from Taja Ginla. And this is down to a 2-goal hockey game. It would go to a 1-goal game as we go to the third because of this one. Just under 4 minutes to go in the period. Hiroki Goisick jogging it to the net, dangling it to the net, dancing it to the net, and no longer to the net. This puck is in the net, unassisted for Hiroki Goisick, and it's a 4-3 game. Wenatchee heading to the third period with a 1-goal lead. Got his own rebound, pushed it off the pads, and pushed it in. We go to the end of the third period. Time winding down. Net empty at the other end.
Nerve-wracking time.
Nerve-wracking time. And here's Ray Hahn. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 175-foot throw from the bottom of the face-off circle at the other end, just inside.
Was he trying to clear it and just got lucky?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay. Because that was a crazy empty netter. That really was.
Time runs out. Clock runs out on Kelowna. And Wenatchee, a 5-3 winner. Hard fought, good crowd on Friday. And Wenatchee grabs a win and 2 very difficult points against a Kelowna team with 7 NHL draft picks on the roster while they gear up for the Memorial Cup in a couple months.
Then to the Lilac City on Saturday, and a nice victory, maybe one of the best road victories, if not the best road victory we had all year. It was beating Spokane in Spokane in front of 10,000 fans.
It was. A couple goals in the third period to really turn the tide in that game. Held off a push there at the end from Spokane. And Cal Conway, 33 saves in that game. Not a career high for him, but I think maybe the best game he's played yet. Watching him evolve as the season's gone along, I think he's a kid who could win us a game or 2 down the stretch if we need him to.
And then, of course, we already mentioned they lost to Spokane. They had back-to-back with Spokane here in the big city, 4-2. So 2 out of 3. We have a lot to talk about. We'll be taking on Victoria, 2 games in Victoria this weekend. You lucky dog. It's one of my favorite towns, Victoria. You get to go to that. First things first, most of the other leagues associated, regardless of the professional or amateur level, they either hold a prospects game or an all-star game. Western Hockey League has not done this in a long, long time. If not, I can't even remember if they've ever done that. That's going to change tomorrow night in Vancouver when the best of the league to get together. It's not an all-star game. It's called the Prospects Game, and it's designed for basically NHL scouts to see the best of the league. Talk about that, and we're going to be well represented as well.
Yeah, so it's been a while since the Western Hockey League has done one of these. They haven't done one since 2000. Kelowna hosted one back about 26 years ago. Filled Prospera Place for it. But it's been a while since really a lot of the Canadian Hockey League as a whole has done this. And Ontario Hockey League started doing one again last year. The Western Hockey League, I think, borrowed some ideas from them, added some ideas of their own, and decided, yeah, we've got an open spot in the schedule. Let's do ours this year. And so they're doing it up in Langley outside of Vancouver where the Vancouver Giants play. And we'll have a couple players up there. Tobias Tversnik was invited, was injured over the weekend, won't be able to participate in this one. But we've got Kalen Jodry, rising forward for this Wenatchee team, going up there for the game tomorrow. And then found out on Sunday, Darian Rolsing, who's been one of our better defensemen, is going to be going up there as well. Both ranked by NHL Central Scouting. Both of them have a pretty good shot to be taken in the NHL draft coming up this summer. And that's really what this is for, is CHL, WHL players get a lot of opportunities to play World Under-17 Hockey Challenge, Linka Gretzky, U18 Worlds. They get a lot of chances to step in front of NHL scouts, but any opportunity to play the best of the best whether it's in your league, worldwide, it's a good opportunity. So these guys will get a chance to play best of the West against best of the East tomorrow night up in Langley.
Was this, as you mentioned before, they haven't done this in 25 years. Was it one of those deals where the Western Hockey League said to the scouts, if we put them all together and hold a prospects game, will you guys come? Or did the scouts go, we'd like to all come en masse and watch your best of your league play? Why don't you put together a prospects game? Or was it, how did that marriage come together after 25 years?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. I think, and probably seeing the Ontario Hockey League do it successfully last year, and I think that was probably a part of it too. But there's always collaboration between the leagues and the scouts. When is a good time for us to do this? Is this something that you guys would come to? What are you guys looking for? Top prospects. Who do you want to see in this game? And the midterm rankings really help with that, because NHL Central Scouting compiles 4 different lists that total about 450 players worldwide to basically a watch list for the upcoming NHL draft, and they rank them top to bottom in each. North American skaters, North American goalies, and the same for guys playing outside of North America right now. So it's something that the scouts know who they want to see. The league knows who the scouts want to see, and it's about getting eyeballs on these guys so they can get another extra look. I think in college football they call it another data point for the draft coming up, and try to get these guys into the pro ranks and move them on to the next level.
There was, yesterday was President's Day, which is observed here but not in Canada, but there were 7 or 8 league games yesterday on a Monday. Is that because of this, so that the players could get a day of rest and travel for those who are going to Langley for this game? Because I couldn't believe all the games that were on the slate yesterday.
It's not, but it's actually really handy. The President's Day is the 3rd Monday of February in the U.S., but it's also a provincial holiday in, Family Day is what they call it, in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. Manitoba has another, a different holiday that's named for somebody whose mind is escaping me this morning. But every province in Western Canada has a holiday on the same day as President's Day happens to fall. So it is really handy. You can carve out 3 days in the middle for guys to get into Vancouver, play in this game, and head back to their teams by Friday. There's nothing else going on in the league until Friday. But no, everybody had a holiday of some sort yesterday, and those Family Day games in Canada, those were a big draw.
Newsflash, while I was gone, Everett clinched the division. No surprise there. They've already clinched a playoff spot. The Silvertips, we talked about how it was the Silvertips and maybe a couple other teams might give Everett a bit of a challenge. I was completely wrong on that. Everett is just a machine right now, and even though we don't play them this weekend, we got them on the slate a couple more times. The Silvertips. It's going to make our playoff push that much more difficult, because Everett is that much better than everybody else in the conference, maybe even in the whole league.
Everett's got a deep team this year. Everett's got a high-flying, hard-hitting team this year. They've got a lot of experience back from last year, but they're a group that can really pour pressure on you. They're number 1 in the league in shots by far, so they put a lot of shots on you. You look at some of the games that they've played lately, and every night it's 44, 47, 50 shots. So Everett is a team that can really run the ice and really can put a pressure on the defense. So Everett's going to be a tough out, I think, among a lot of teams in the months of April and May, but Everett's going to be an especially tough out, I think.
Do you think that the Silvertips are going to take their foot off the gas just a little bit, knowing they've already clinched the division? They're probably going to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs unless all hell breaks loose. Are they going to take advantage of this, make sure guys are healthy, or are they going to say, we're Everett, we're just going to keep shoving you around?
Well, they've got enough guys to roll 4 lines for 1, but number 2, they're also chasing a regular season title in the WHL. They won it last year. They're looking to win it again this year, so I don't know that they start resting anybody, if they do, until they have that last piece of hardware in their hands before the playoffs start.
And again, we got 2 more hookups with Everett before the regular season is over. So here we go, 55 games in the books, 13 games left. That's it. We are 21-29, 3-2. We have 47 points. We are 11th in the 12-team West. We got work to do. We don't need to gild the lily here, We're on the outside looking in right now for the playoffs.
Yeah, and every game is an important one. You look at what we've got coming up. A couple games against Victoria this weekend. We'll talk about them in a few minutes. But Victoria's coming up. We got another couple of games against Kelowna. Everett we'll see not only on March 1st, but back-to-back at the end of the season. And we've got a couple more road games up in Prince George. We haven't seen them on the road yet, so we'll make that trip. And we'll finish a 4-5 road trip week that starts in Edmonton and Red Deer. So a lot coming up for this group. A couple of really busy stretches in there. Nothing that's unmanageable, but certainly some busy weeks coming up for these guys, and some formidable teams on the way.
For those who are the uninitiated, there are 2 conferences, and inside the conferences there are 2 divisions, and the 4 division winners, 2 in each conference, are automatically the 1 and 2 seed just for the first round, then they reseed after that. And then teams 3 through 8 get the rest of the playoff positions. So right now we're on the outside looking in, but we have a chance. If we got 13 games left, if we go say 9-4, and we start, moving up on the Thunderbirds in Tri-City, we have a chance.
Absolutely, and you look at where the conference is right now, at the bottom of the playoff field, 6 through 9. I believe at the end of the day on Sunday, but I believe it's still true now. Those are 4 teams separated by 3 points, and 3 of those teams are going to the playoffs. So you could not only get into the playoffs, but you're going to avoid those 2 division winners if you can get to 6, and 6 is right there beyond the number 9 spot. You can go from being out of the playoffs to avoiding a division winner in one fell swoop by winning 1 game right now. So it's that close. If you can get into the field, you can make a climb up the field a few spots fairly quickly.
Everett has already clinched the American division. The other division in the West is the, help me out.
B. C.
Yeah, the BC division. I'm sorry. Who's leading the BC division right now? And exactly how good are they?
It's Penticton and Prince George at the top of the BC division right now. Prince George started the season at the top, then Penticton jumped up, and they've managed to stay up there with a nice long winning streak of their own. So Penticton is a team that's gotten hot. They've got a ton of experience this year. They wanted to give the Penticton fans a good showing their first year in the Western Hockey League. They've got 4 20-year-olds, which is 1 more than they'd normally be able to have, but with an expansion team, they get a little bit of a benefit there. But they've got a ton of 19-year-olds too. So they've got a ton of experience. They've got guys who have played in the playoffs before, have played for championships before, and they want to really make a push for Penticton in that first year, and they've done a fantastic job. Wild to see them a couple times in March.
Right, yeah, we got Penticton still to play, who's good, and Prince George, as you mentioned. So we have our schedule, our closing schedule over these last 13 games, starting with back-to-backers up in Victoria, is not easy. We were not dealt a very good hand there.
Every game is a playoff game right now. Even though we're 3 spots out of the playoffs, these are our first round of the playoffs right now over the final 13 games.
Back-to-back games in Victoria, you lucky dog. I love Victoria. It's a beautiful city. Hope you get a chance to see some of it.
Very walkable.
Yeah, very walkable, very European. It doesn't feel like you're in Canada, really.
It doesn't.
It doesn't at all. Talk about Victoria, back-to-back games, Friday and Saturday, plus the overnight stay, which would be nice. Scout Victoria for us.
Yeah, Victoria, the first thing that really jumps out about Victoria actually is the goaltending. Ethan Escott has been their workhorse in net this season, coming over from Brandon after last year. And Ethan he's played most, if not all, of the minutes here over the last month and a half since the trade deadline. So we'll see a lot of him probably this weekend. But don't forget what's at stake for Victoria, too. They're right at the bottom of the playoff fight right now. That's 6 through 9. They're right at the bottom of it, but they're right within reach of number 6, too. So we're playing to stay in the playoffs. They're playing to not only get into the playoffs, but make a climb up to that number 6 spot and have a chance to move up to 4 or 5 by the time the clock runs out on this thing. So don't underestimate what they're playing for here, too.
And it should be pointed out that you can listen to Austin call the action Friday and Saturday night. No more Seahawks conflicts. It will be on KPQ for the rest of the season. And you're sitting around and you're thinking, gee, honey, we should go to a Wenatchee Wild hockey game. And you've been thinking about this since November. Well, there's only 13 games left, and there's only a month left in the season. You're running out of time to go see the boys at the Town Toyota Center.
And there are only 4 games at home left this season. So coming up on February 28th and Sunday, March 1st, We've got one against Penticton Saturday the 7th and Friday the 20th against Everett. That's it for the regular season. And after that, the only thing that's left, unless playoffs come around, are 26, 27 season tickets, which are now on sale.
Have you been following the Olympic hockey at all?
Very much.
As you know by now, the NHL is on hiatus because the pros are back in the Olympic tournament after a number of years of not doing it. Now they're back, so the NHL is on hiatus. I thought the Olympic rinks were bigger. But there's something, I don't know if it's the camera angle or what I'm doing, because I watched the United States and Germany play. It doesn't look like it's a big rink anymore. Did I miss something?
So the international Olympic size is wider, and most of the leagues in Europe and around the world play on that wider ice. They played on the NHL size ice when it was in Vancouver back in 2010, and I think the international authorities, the Olympic authorities, really liked what they saw from the style of play in that Olympics. So over the last few years, over the last few Olympic Games, they've gone back to the NHL size ice. But what kind of garnered a little controversy at right at the start of the Olympics, probably unnecessarily, was the fact that the Olympic size ice is a little bit shorter, 3 feet shorter than an NHL
It was
rink.
obvious to see, to me. It was obvious.
So they've got the shorter Olympic size length, but the narrower NHL size width, and that's drawn a whole bunch of controversy. It's 3 feet.
Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out for me, because I couldn't figure out why it didn't look correct. But
your eyes are not deceiving you. It is NHL size ice.
I won't see you for another week. Who do you like for the women's gold medal game? The United States and our neighbors to the north. These are bitter rivals. They don't like each other.
I see the U.S. winning this one. They gave up a goal early in the tournament, and they've posted, I think, 5 straight shutouts.
I think they've outscored their opponents 31-1.
Yeah,
is what I read.
Something obnoxious like that. So it's I see the United States taking the gold for the women.
And the gold medal men's game will still be. You'll be here next week before that's being played, right?
It'll be the U.S. I'm guessing the U.S. and Canada in that one, but I think it could go either way. I could see the U.S. winning it. Canada has had the U.S.'s number in those men's gold medal games. 4 nations, Olympics, doesn't matter. Canada's been strong against the U.S. head-to-head in the Olympics. So if I had to guess, I'd say Canada, but I'm still rooting for the red, white, and blue.
There you go. Austin Draude, everybody, give him a big hand. Crowd loves you. Going to take a break and come back and do the weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
I am digging these longer days. I'm liking this a lot. Today will be 3 minutes longer than yesterday. Right now it's overcast, but National Weather Service says we're supposed to see some sun breaks later on today, and I'm holding to it. With a high of 38 degrees, clouds are back tonight, 26 for the overnight low. A little bit of rain snow mix possible tomorrow, and a high near 38. I want to jump all the way ahead to Thursday night or Wednesday night into Thursday. We could see a bit of a snowy commute on your Thursday morning commute, and we could get some snow again on Sunday as well. Temperatures below normal. That's it for us. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.